Say thank you for coming to this version of how to use Canva, the beginner section. And I have to tell you, they update Canva so often that when I logged on this morning, I felt like a beginner, even though I've been using it for years and years, because they made some dramatic changes just this week, evidently. So we're going to go through it. I am happy to be here with you while you spend your lunchtime with me. So let me share my screen and show you. Okay, easier said than done. Here we go. And show you this PowerPoint that I've created. Now, I have two monitors, so you have to let me know that this is working properly on your screen. Can you see what looks like a PowerPoint? Do you see it says using Canva for fun? Somebody? Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I made this PowerPoint in Canva, and just to show you how you can do that. And I made this actually probably close to a year ago. And then I've updated it a little bit, but it's just the very beginning of what you can do in Canva. If it involves graphics, you can do it. So we'll talk about what is Canva, what does it cost, what can I make, and then I'll show you what it looks like today. So Canva was started in 2013. I started using it just a little bit after that. So I'm going to say it's been about 10 years that I've used it. I've seen a lot of changes in it. People like me started using it because Photoshop was overwhelming. And we said, we did just get in there. We don't know what to do with it, but I know I need to make graphics. And before that, all we had was well, we could make graphics in PowerPoint, or we could use whatever apps came with Windows, which was terrible. Um, I would advise you to, unless you otherwise can't, to always use the one on your desktop because the functionality is so much better. But that it has so many free things, and you don't need to spend a lot of money on a software application to make graphics unless you're a professional, and that's completely different. So here's just a quick list of the things that you could make. And this list is 6 months old, so it's completely dated. It doesn't even include, I don't believe, any of the videos that you can do, all kinds of social media graphics, all you name it. If it's got a picture on it, you can make it. You are limited only by your imagination, your tenacity into how to learn how to do it, and your willingness to dig into Canva to find the instructions. What I will tell you is that their help functionality is now AI driven, and it is so much better than it used to be. It's right about 50% of the time. And you know what? That's okay with me. That is okay with me. So, what does it cost? Excellent question. I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to talk today about the free version. And the free version does a ton of things. It doesn't do any of the very, very fancy things. So I realized this morning that maybe I should do another one of these about the paid version with the extra functionality that it has. But today we're going to talk about what pardon? Okay. Um, I can't see the chat anymore. So if somebody else could keep us up on the chat and just interrupt me if something happens that I need to know, because it's disappeared now. For me. Um, so the free version has a great deal of functionality for the average user. Even for a small business, you can get by with just the free version. If you're going to do a lot of graphics, I'm going to say that it's worth the extra money. It probably costs what 120 a year. How much does Netflix cost? It's probably about the price of Netflix now. I don't even know how much Netflix costs. So here's the short version of the difference between the free and the pro version. Like I said, I have a couple handouts that I will email you. But when we get done today, I'll make sure that I have the email address of anybody that wants that. And I will get that to you because I don't have it through Meetup. You'll have to put it in the chat for me. But basically, the fancy things, if you want to remove the background in a photo, like you've got a photo and you say, oh, I just wish that I was standing in the forest instead of in my living room. You can't do that with the free version. You can't do but there's still a ton. I can't even begin to tell you how many things you can do for free. Here's the list. It's got all kinds of AI that you can use for free to create graphics. Is AI perfect? Oh, I wish it was. It's so much better than it was 6 months ago. I will tell you that. So much better. And they've made it easier to find than what it was. In the pro version, this is where you can do the really fancy, like people that get paid for a living to do this. What Canva is doing right now, and the reason they're expanding their business is they're expanding their business past somebody that sits at home and says, I need to make a sign for my yard sale, to giant corporations. And that's who they're after now, because they have made some spectacularly fancy changes. And so as of today, this is what that homepage looks like, which is different than what it looked like a week ago. So that's the end of the little PowerPoint that I made in, there we go, that I made in Canva. Easy, 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 easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, so then now I'm going to show you what Canva looks like. There we go. This is the home screen of what Canva looks like now. They've added so many buttons. So I'm going to try not to talk too fast. Please turn off, unmute yourself if I say something that doesn't make any sense to you. What I'm going to do is just work my way through the screen. And the great thing about the way they've changed the screen right now is that it is much easier to find the things that you're looking for. They used to be buried, and in my humble opinion, if somebody that looks at this screen every day, I think it's a little easier. So what you've got a button up here on the left that says create. And if you smush that button, it gives you a list of the different things that you could create. That's easy enough. That's a lot easier than it used to be. Okay, but also it has that same thing right across the front here. So the thing they've just added right here, and this ties into what you just said, Maggie, is that right now I could make an email. So I'm going to smush this button. And what it gives me ability, it says design a new email, but it gives me a blank screen. So it assumes that I know what I'm doing. And here is where you could create an email that looks just like the MailChimp email that I send out every Tuesday, or whoever you signed up and said, yes, I'd love to get your email. They make their emails in lots of different clients like Constant Comment or MailChimp. And so right now, this very minute, you can, as of today, you can do the same thing in Canva, and it looks like that you can do it in the free version. I played around with it this morning, and it looks like you can. So if you choose one of these templates, and I'm going to do that in a second after I make my phone stop making noise. I'm going to just click over here randomly and say, yeah. And so here's a template. And then look what it's done for you. It's amazing. All you have to do is change it so that it looks like you. And then, as I understand it, like I said, I'm just a couple hours ahead of you with this, that I can come over here and I can send a test email after I'm done. I can send this with MailChimp. And this is brand new. I've never done it. I never saw it till this morning. Okay, so I've clicked around and I've done this, but I want to get back out. This is maybe the hardest part, is you've climbed inside here, and how can I get back out? You come back over here and you click what we call in the biz, we call it the hamburger, because it's got 3 lines on it. And then it takes you back home. It makes this a separate window that I can now close. And now I'm back to where I started, to the home page. With your free version, it will constantly ask you to upgrade. And every time you see this crown, that means it's part of the paid version, and it means that you can't do it unless you upgrade. The other thing that I would like to point out is I'm going to refresh the screen by hitting this little circle up here. You can also do that with the keyboard shortcut F5. And what it's done is it's already remembered the thing that I said I didn't want to do when I left the screen, and it called it untitled design. So yeah.
And still don't feel how insulting and disrespectful that they're doing.
I'm getting some feedback from so I'm just stop talking for a second because it must okay. Anyway, so it's already saved this design. You don't ever have to hit a save button, no matter what you're doing. It automatically saves it for you. And that, my friend, is I think the best thing ever. So I don't know, is anybody trying to use their computer on Monday morning when AWS server went down and suddenly nothing was working? Canva was one of those that had a little bit of problems and it kept having to reboot. But I was lucky enough that no matter what I had done, it had saved it along the way. So I don't have anything bad to say about that. So these are the other things. I'll just go across the front. You can make sheets. What that means is just what it sounds like, not the sheets for your bed. This is computer sheets. This is just like an Excel sheet. I'm going to click on it. Now, I'm sure there's a reason you would create an Excel sheet in Canva. I am unclear on what that is. I have an unnatural love for Excel and I use it every day. I use Google Sheets also. So I'm sure there's a reason you would do it in Canva. I will tell you that if you want to use one of these templates, that is part of the, again, the free version. So, so what if you guys find out why I would want to create an Excel sheet in a graphics program? You let me know and I'll include that next time because I sure don't know what it is. But it just means that you could do everything here. You can also create a document. Oh, I think Maggie, you were the one that asked about creating a journal. And I think what you meant was a running document. And if not, then I'm sorry. But you can also create documents of any kind here. I'm going to push doc. I think if you want to create a running document where you just keep track of things, I would point you towards Google Docs to do that. And I know that I need to do a class on that sometime soon also. So what this is documents. This is more like a document that you're going to create for work, and you can create a header for it. There are templates, so I can just click on this and I say, oh no, that's a paid one. I'm so sorry. I clicked on what you have to pay money for. And so there you place the current page. There we go. And so here I've created a document that looks like this. And all I have to do is go back and change the words. I didn't have to create any of the art. I can change the colors if I want. But all the hard formatting part of it is done. And this is amazingly, whoever's done, raise your hand if you've ever tried to do this in Word and it's driven you stark raving mad. Okay, I'm going to put myself in that group. So that's what the documents are. Went back to the home page. We've got a whiteboard. I have a feeling that's beyond the scope of this group presentation, is just what I just did. And I know some people were interested in social media. I'm going to come right back to that, though. I won't forget the social media, but it's what you think it is. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikTok, it's all of that. Photo editor. Now, here's where you upload a photo of your own, which was what I was playing around with this morning. I uploaded some photos. This is a picture that I took when I was up at Pine Top, my favorite place to see the pine trees. And then I can come and I can edit it. I can add different effects. I can change the colors. I can crop it. And it looks like most of this is free, which is new. It didn't used to be. Oh no, Magic Eraser is not free. I'm sorry, I lied to you. Background remover is not free. But you can make lots of changes and then you can save it, or you can create a design using the picture that you just edited. There's lots of things you can do with that. So I'll show you. Yes, I want to discard. Thanks for asking. Okay, so here's a picture of my grandkids with I a big yellow fellow. It's probably a Pokemon, I'm going to guess. So this is a good example of, so let's say I love this picture. I think my grandkids are adorable. So of course I think it's a great picture. But the background is kind of silly looking at, I would rather have the picture someplace a little more fascinating. What they have that you can't do for free is the thing called background remover. And what it would do is it would automatically know. We don't even have to tell it. We don't even have to tell it that I just want the big yellow person and my granddaughter and my grandson, and it will get rid of the rug and the carpet and everything else. And I could make this anything that I would like it to be and in the background. And so unfortunately that is not available, or anything that does something like that. The magic eraser, which is right here, I could come and just erase part of it if I wanted. Like I just want to get rid of the door where it says fire alarm. But you can't unless you pay money, and it's $10 a month, which is not, like I said, that's not a ton of money, but you do have to pay it, I believe, in order to get it at that price. I believe you have to pay it for the entire year. So this is where you can edit any picture that you've uploaded. These are the pictures that I've uploaded over the when I made my vision boards. Here's one that says I'm a money magnet. And I could edit those. I could add words to them. I could do whatever I would like to do to make a particular project out of it. We could also make videos, but I believe that 99% of that is not involved. You can't use it with the free platform, so we're going to kind of skip over that. And then you can make a website. I am not going to show you how to make a website today. Clearly, we can't get that far in an hour, but that's how much you can do with Canva now. It is crazy making to me. And then if you don't know what you want at all, you can just say, I just want to make something and I want to make it the size that I want to make it. And I want to make it 8 inches wide. This is going to default to pixels, 8 inches wide and 5 inches tall, and make me a new design. Just skip all the other stuff. And then I can do whatever I want with this. And they're suggesting that I'm going to make a business card because I guess that's what they think the things are that are that size. But odds are, when you get started here, you will probably start with one of these buttons. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a minute. Does anyone have a question about anything at this point? No. Right then. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to smush the button. Smush is a technical term called social media.
I have a question.
Sure.
Could we do one night, maybe or at the ward, someplace where there is Wi-Fi, to do a vision board, create vision boards, like as a class, like a get together. Like I know you do the vision board at Bookman's, but how about a gathering for vision board in person?
So everybody brings their laptop and we do it that way?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I
Sure.
think having the on-hands experience as questions arise would be great. And who doesn't love a vision board?
You know what? That's a great idea. And
Thanks.
will you
I
send me an
will.
email in case
I
I
will.
can't read my note
I already
later?
wrote it
Thank you.
down. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go do a vision board. Let's go do a vision board. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a vision board that I want to print. That's what I'm going to do. And I know what size I want it to be. I have actually you can't see my office here. I have, I don't know, 5 different vision boards. A couple of them I have done in Canva because their printing is reasonable. So let's do that. Let's say, how wide do I want my vision board to be? What, 24 by 18? Is that the standard size? I think it is. Okay, we're going to create a new design. Okay. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you once you are inside your document, for the most part, all of the keyboard shortcuts that I'm going to send you and all the manipulation of the things inside are the same. It doesn't matter whether you're creating a flyer or a website or anything else. For the most part, this menu on the left is going to be pretty similar. There's a disclaimer there because there are changes. So I'm going to really quickly go down here. Elements. Okay, it will always, okay, I'm going to back up. It will always suggest a template. It says, oh, you picked this size. Do you want to do one of these things? This is what we think you want. And there are times that is exactly what you want. And so if I wanted a thank you card, I would smush this button. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I will smush one that does not have a crown next to it. This one. And there we go. And all I need to do is change the names down here, and I've got a thank you thing that I wanted. This is your most important keyboard shortcut. I'm going to tell you right now. It's Control Z, as in zebra, and it is undo. If there's anything I could teach you today, it would be that. You can also do it with the arrows up here on top, but you've already got your hands down by the keyboard usually. So Control Z. So again, it suggested templates, but I don't want a template. I want to start from scratch. So this menu on the side when it says elements, okay, they've changed this since yesterday. Okay, so that's great. Changed this since yesterday. I love it. So you can add shapes, you can add graphics, stickers, you can do audio and video. Some of those you're going to have to pay for. They have a ton of free photos. I can't even begin to tell you. And you could add sheets and grids and mock-ups and all kinds of things. Oh, that's crazy. So what I'm looking for, I just happen to know that what I'm looking for is called a frame. So I'm going to smush the button that says frames. What a frame is for a vision board, because this is the crucial part of it. If you want to make it look neat and tidy without having to work very hard. And I'm serious about the working very hard part. So it says frames, and I'm going to smush where it says see all. And so I'm just going to click this one. So what this means it is if I drag a picture over into this circle, it's automatically going to crop it. And I don't have to work very hard. And that's great, except that that's not what I want right now. So I'm going to hit Control Z. I'm going to scroll down to the frames that are grids. Down on the bottom, we're going to keep going and going and see how many frames there are. You can make your pictures look like anything you want. Unless they moved them since yesterday. Oh my gosh. So many things. I just have to click on this to see what it looks like. Okay, so what this is, I guess you could make a vision board look like this. What this looks like is that you can take and put one picture in this circle, one picture in this circle, one picture in this thing in the middle, and a picture here, and a picture here. So every place that it looks like, what does that look like? It looks like the old Windows background. That's where the picture would grab. And so you have so many different frames here, and oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to search for it because they have too many. They've added too many frame grid. Okay. Okay, so here's one. This is where I can put 3 pictures in. And so let's say I want my vision board to be neat and tidy. Do you see what I'm doing without me even telling you what I'm doing? I click on this thing. Any graphic that you click on, you can resize it with the arrows to see how I'm doing that. And then I can click on it and move it. It will also give you this little spinny thing right here. And that lets you spin it like that if that's what you want to do. But I'm just going to take this and I'm going to make it take up this much because this is what I want my vision board to look like. And then I'm going to do Control C as in carrot. And then I'm going to do Control V as in Victor. And I just copy and pasted that so that I could put 2 right next to each other. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to say, hey, this is what I want my vision board to look like. So now all you have to do is get any kind of picture that you ever want, and then you can drag and drop it in here. You will spend much more time doing this than what I've done. Over here on the left side underneath where it says elements, there's text, there's brand. That's what you use. See how it has a crown right there. That's what you do with your business. So Maggie, if you were going to do this to run a business, you would need the paid version, and you can upload your logo and your color schemes, and it's all just right there for you. Personal use, we're not going to do it. Uploads, that's all the pictures that I've uploaded. So let's say my vision board, I want to put my grandkids on there. So I'm going to click on the picture and it automatically shows up over here. And then I drag and drop it and it falls in place. It's just that easy. If I don't like where it went, see, I double clicked it and it got big again. I can put it any place that, okay, I guess it's not going to let me. It's just going to let me move it and resize it. I could make it bigger so that it's just their faces. And then I can let go. And now we can't see the big yellow person's feet. Okay, I have a picture of a birthday cake here for some reason. I can click that and I can put it right here. If I hate it and I say, oh, I hate that, what's my keyboard shortcut? Control Z. I hit the delete key and that puppy's gone. Let's see what else I have. Oh, here we go. My vision board needs money on it. There's some money. My vision board needs some beach on it. And my vision board needs, oh, this is a beautiful backyard. Let's take that. But that's how easy a vision board is. If I decided that I just wanted to have 4 things, I could just do this, take these 4 pictures, grab them, make them bigger. And of course, I'm making this look really simple because I've done it 5 million times. So you're limited only by your imagination and your patience. If you don't want it to look even, you can make it look like that. You can move it this way. So let's say you like this a little bit, but you want to practice a little bit more. Okay.
Before you go
Yes.
and do that, what if you wanted to add text on top of those? Or
That's exactly what I was going to do next.
oh, okay.
I was going to add another page. Do you see where I am down there, a plus on the bottom? Okay, so let's say that I like this one so much that I don't want to booger it up. Okay, so I'm going to come to a new page to practice my text. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to text. And the worst thing I can say about this is that there are too many fonts. There's 8,000 fonts in here that you could try. So we're going to type my vision board. A keyboard shortcut to adding text is to just come over here and hit the letter T. How crazy is that? And there it is. It'll be on the list I send you. Okay, so here's the default font, which they're calling Canva Sans. And so I'm resizing it by using the arrows. I can pick it up and move it. I think I probably don't have to tell you that you can come up here and you can make it bold. You can make it italics. You can make it underlined. I think you probably knew all that part. You probably didn't need me. Here's where you can change the color. And so it automatically says, hey, would you like to use some of the colors that were in the pictures that you just uploaded? And we say, well, that's delightful. Thanks for asking. I'll take this beautiful brown. And so I smush this brown, and now my text matches the color in my other pictures that I didn't want to mess up. So I'm over here practicing. Okay, but I don't like this font. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click where this font is. And it's going to show me part of the 10,000 fonts that are saved here. And I'm okay. If it has the crown next to it, then of course it's a paid version, but there are so many free ones. But let's say that I wanted a font that looks like handwriting. So I'm going to come up here and say, do you have any that look like handwriting? And I'm going to hit enter, and lo and behold, it does. And so now I don't like Beth Allen's handwriting at all, so we're not going to use that one. Let's see if Brittany's any better. Oh, that looks delightful. And then you might want to put it on your vision board and do a slant to it. If you really loved this and you wanted to use this font, again, we could do Control C or Carrot or Charlie or whatever, and then Control V, and we just copy and pasted that. And we could put different words in it and put it down here. And we know that it matches exactly because it is the same everything from up here. The other things you can do, like I said, I'm sure you know the bold and all of that, but there are also effects right here. So I'm going to select this one. I want to select effects. And here are the different things that ways that I can make the font look. I can put a shadow on it. So we've got it compared to this and you can see the difference. See, it's put a shadow back behind it. I can change the color of the shadow. I could make it black. See how that makes the difference in that. I could instead say I want it to look like it's lifted. This kind of gives it a three-dimensional effect. That's their goal anyway. And you can also do hollow, which doesn't work very well with this font. What it does is make it hollow in the middle, but not with this kind of font, doesn't show up very much. And then splice, add some color. This adds some outline. With a handwriting font, that makes it really hard to read. So why don't I change this font to something else? And there we go. I can show you that one on this font instead. Go to effects, and we'll make it look. There you go. That's something you might possibly use. That splice. And here's outline. Echo is like it's got almost like 3 layers on it. Glitch, it's got a really neon background to it, although not as neon as this. I have to tell you, I've never used this effect. Now, the other thing that's hidden down here, and I want you to know it's there, is that you can make your line curved. If you have a graphic and you've got a picture of something and you want to put these words over the top of your graphic for whatever reason. And then the part that's really hiding is what size you can make this curve. I can't tell you how long it took me to find this thing down on the bottom of the screen. So I just saved you about 6 months. And then when you get tired of it, you just push the button done. Okay. Any other things you want to learn about adding text? Everything's always easy once you know how to do it. I can't even.
I would say you put that text on a different page. What if on the page with your images, or you didn't want to put an image, you wanted to put words? My vision boards typically do not have images, they have a lot of words on them. So if I want to make a vision board, I have a mixture of words and photographs like of the beach and things like that that I want to call into my life. So you went to a separate page.
I just
so
did
how
this
would
to practice. To practice.
Yeah, but would you copy and paste, say that, and place it on top of? Like, how do you insert words on your existing page?
Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up
Okay.
here and I'm going to select it, and I'm going to do Control C. That copies it to the invisible clipboard in the sky. So I'm going to click back on this other page, and now I'm going to do Control V, and there it is. And this is a really terrible looking vision board, but there it is, and I can move it around and do whatever I want with it. Now let me add yet another page since we're playing around here. And let's say I want my vision board to be, because I think this would be a delightful backyard. I wouldn't mind having that at all. And so let's say that I wanted to put some words on top of this. That thing that I just copied to the clipboard, it is still on the clipboard. So I can do Control V, and there it is. And so I can come up here. This color is not very good, but it is not terrible. I can come up here and change the color. I smush this button. I had to select the text first. I'm sorry, I did that automatically without saying it. Okay, and so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make the text white. And there it shows up much better. Whoopsie doodle, that's my fault. There we go. And then if I hate the way this effect looks, because I put effects on here, I can click effect, and then I can come back and say none. I just want plain old things. So then when you get done, so let's say I'm done, and this is my vision board, and I just want to download this because this is perfect and I love it. And I've got all these other pages of nonsense on here. It doesn't matter that it's there at all, because or you can delete them. You can delete them. I could click on this and I could delete it, or I can go back to the one that I want and I'm ready to download it because that's probably the next thing I should show you. It's already 12:43. Is that when I'm done with this, and I want to download this picture because I want to print it or whatever I want to do with it. I'm going to push share. If I got to pick what that button said, I would pick something besides share, but that's what they picked. So that's what it says. So here's all the things that you can do. Some of this may or may not make sense. I can copy the link to this image in Canva and email it to someone else so they can see what I'm looking on. Odds are that's not what you want to do. I could just smush this button that says download. That makes some sense, doesn't it? And then it's going to ask you some things. And you probably want to download it as a PNG or a JPEG because it's a picture, unless you're going to print it, and then you have these other choices. Okay, so let's say that that I'm just gonna, it's suggested this, so that's what I'm going to take. And it says, do you want to download all 3 of the things that you've got here? And I'm going to say, no, thank you very much. I would just like to take the page that I like. So I'm going to get rid of this check mark. I'm going to say, I just want to download page 3. And then you smush the button download, and then you need to give it a name that you can remember and save it in a place that you can find it later. I cannot express how important that part is because it's going to go to probably your downloads, and maybe you save your things there, maybe you don't, but give it a name that you can remember and save it in a place that you can find it. Okay, the other things that we can do with this share button are we could print it with Canva. We love it so much, we want Canva to print this, which is what I've done. And you can put it on a tote bag. You can put it on a hat. You can do whatever you want, and you just follow the directions, read all the words, and you can print out a decent size vision board for about $12, and it looks fantastic when you get it. But pay attention to the margins, and if they say it doesn't fit, they know what they're talking about, even though it's a computer. You just have to believe them. You could share this to Instagram I believe you can do this with a personal account, with a free account. The best I could do, I checked it today and it looks like it works. You connect your Instagram account with Canva, your personal account. You smush this button and you do this, and you could just take it here. You don't even have to download it. You can post it straight to Instagram, which is a thing you might want to do for your business or just because it's fun for you. You see that you have choices here for either a business account or for a personal account.